All right, so we're locked in, you guys, with the continuing coverage of President Trump launching the military operation that led to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro, the socialist dictator of Venezuela. And as I've been telling you, you guys been watching the content, Venezuelans around the world are cheering this. They're rejoicing. They're celebrating the collapse of a brutal dictatorship that has finally been removed from power. And so now, for the first time in years, you'll hear many of them attest that the people of Venezuela have an opportunity to rebuild their country, enjoy peace, hopefully hold fair and free elections, and pursue prosperity at home. But here's the irony. While Venezuelans are celebrating freedom, Democrats and liberals don't seem nearly as excited to see the very people they've claimed to support finally have a country of their own to return to and fix. The contradictions tell you everything you need to know. And so let me know you love the video by smashing that thumbs up. Subscribe for the channel for more and share this video. That way more people see what's really going on.
Does America even need Venezuelan oil? And I can kind of understand your point, because if you look at just total oil production, look, this is up until 2005, the US was there, Venezuela was there, Saudi Arabia was there. But as you probably know, since then, everything has changed. Look, American output has gone through the roof, way above Saudi Arabia, And Venezuela has gone basically to the floor. And that's kind of post-Chavez, Maduro. They're one of the minnows now, and I think 21st biggest producer in the world. So again, that question, why should America care? Well, in the US, that big rise is largely down to this. It's down to the shale revolution. So you've got fracking all around the US producing extraordinary amounts of crude oil. Look at total oil reserves around the world. The higher these bars are, the more oil there is in the ground, so that hasn't yet been taken out of the ground. So there you've got Saudi, Iran, Iraq, all of the usual suspects. But the biggest of all, and this is according to various different sources, the biggest of all is Venezuela. And what's that oil? It's the heavy, tarry stuff that you might well want to put into those American refineries. And there is really only one other place in the world that has a kind of serious amount of heavy oil other than Canada and Venezuela. And lo and behold, guess where that is? It's Russia.
They are not going to be very happy. So China buys oil from Venezuela at about a 20 to 30% discount. So they get discounted oil, they get discounted gas. The Russians have been using their so-called shadow fleet of tankers to move oil around the world to help fund their efforts in Ukraine. So neither the country is going to be happy. But at this point, with Maduro gone, there's not much that they can complain about. Hopefully, from here on in, we see free and fair elections in Venezuela and allowing the Venezuelan people to rule their country rather than the strongman Maduro.
Yeah, and so, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that. And this is what's happening now, because we know that Democrats, they don't really have anything to stand on as a party anymore. Other than whatever Trump does, we do the opposite, even if it's clearly good for this country. And so now what you're seeing is the Democrats and the liberal media, they're rolling out all the same talking points. This is all about the oil. But here's the problem with that narrative. They clearly did not listen to the president's press conference. He never denied that. He never denied that oil was a part of the equation. In fact, he openly acknowledged it. He explained that energy security is one of the reasons Maduro had to be removed, because allowing hostile adversaries to gain influence in our backyard is a non-starter. We're not playing those games with China and Russia. And that's exactly what Venezuela became under Maduro, a gateway for our adversaries right on America's doorsteps. And the president made it clear that wasn't going to continue. But despite all of that, you still have people like Kamala Harris popping up trying to manufacture a so-called gotcha moment as if it wasn't already explained plainly and directly. So listen to this. This is really interesting. 2024. Remember, in 2024, we are offering $25 million. This was the Biden administration. We are offering $25 million for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela. Also, Kamala Harris, 2025. How dare Donald Trump arrest Maduro? And so here goes a bit of what she posted. Donald Trump's actions in Venezuela do not make America safer, stronger, or more affordable. That Maduro is a brutal, illegitimate dictator does not change the fact that this action was both unlawful and unwise. We've seen this movie before. Wars for regime change or oil that are sold as strength, but turn into chaos, and American families pay the price. That American people do not want this, and they are tired of being lied to. This is not about drugs or democracy. It is about oil. And so now there's Kamala Harris trying to put her spin on it, obviously, in order to, like I said, whatever Trump does, Democrats just have to oppose it and believe the opposite. But she's not alone. And it's interesting because it wasn't that long ago under the Biden administration, like I said, a $25 million bounty basically was put out by the Biden administration, leading to information of the arrest of Nicolas Maduro. So I guess maybe that was all just lip service. They didn't actually want anybody to collect on that $25 million, but President Trump took it upon himself to say, we will not allow this to continue. But in the meantime, as Venezuelans across the globe are celebrating, you got liberals and Democrats doing something incredible. They're exposing themselves. They're telling Venezuelans basically, you're wrong for wanting a fascist dictator removed from power. How dare you? How dare you celebrate the collapse of a socialist dictator? How dare you cheer as your leader is taken down? Especially if it's done by President Trump. So instead of listening to the people who actually lived under that dictatorship, they're lecturing them from afar. Take a listen.
Demand for another country's oil reserves. This is not what Venezuelans asked for. And under international law, this action undermines national sovereignty, regardless of how brutal the existing regime may be. While there are no verified reports at this time of widespread civilian injuries beyond military targets, this does not mean that civilians...
We're bombing Venezuela right now. It is 2:35 a.m. and Pete Kegsbrough, fucking cosplay G.I. Joe, is literally bombing Venezuela. You guys didn't stop them when they were bombing boats in the ocean. You didn't stop them when they fucking took a tanker off the coast of Venezuela like a bunch of fucking pirates. You guys didn't say shit when they bombed Nigeria less than 2 weeks ago. What the fuck are you guys doing? We are the terrorists. We are exporting error to the rest of the world. What the fuck is it going to take for you people to remove this dementia-ridden patient who needs to be in a fucking padded cell at this point?
You all should be ashamed of yourself. Your own people are going to be the next Iraqi refugees. Millions of your own people are going to die, and you're cheering for the death of your own people. You're cheering for the death of Americans like me are going to die. They're cheering for the death of their own people. Shame on you.
White liberals in America are complaining about Nicolas Maduro while Venezolanos in Venezuela are out celebrating that their dictator is gone. If this doesn't tell you how evil and disturbed white liberals in America are, I don't know what will. They're willing to allow an entire country to be exploited as long as it fits their political agenda and goes against Trump. Think about that. Nicolas Maduro publicly rigged elections, killed his own people, had actual re-education camps, made anybody who opposed him disappear. And this is who they're defending now.
Stay with me, all. Hands off Venezuela! Hands off Venezuela! Free President Maduro! La lucha sigue! Libertad, socialismo o muerte! Venceremos!
Venezuela, Venezuelan people are criticizing Trump for what he did in Venezuela. They say he bombed and kidnapped our president. No. Let me be clear. That man was never our president. He is a dictator. We didn't vote for him. Our elections were stolen. And when we protested, our kids were sent to prison. Minors were tortured. Girls were forced to prostitute themselves in prisons just to get food, to get a piece of bread. And where were all of you then? Where were all of you, liberals? Where were all of you? Where were all of you? You said nothing. You did nothing. But now you suddenly care about international law? I mean, now you all talk about human rights? Maduro didn't lead Venezuela. He kidnapped an entire country. So, no, Trump didn't kidnap anyone. No, he did not. He removed our kidnapper. And for that, we're thankful. You can divide politics all you want. But don't tell Venezuelans, do not tell Venezuelans how to feel about being free from a dictatorship.
To every Venezuelan cheering right now, you do not want to be controlled by the United States. They will drain you of all your resources and then leave you in a worse state than you are right now. We're also under a dictatorship, and now we are in charge of your country. United States citizens don't even want to be in this country anymore. We want a revolution from our own country. The only reason we've taken over your country is to steal all your oil and resources and leave you as impoverished as possible because we're an imperial empire. And that's what we do. Over and over and over again, we take over destabilized countries so we can exploit them. It's like being taken out of one pot of boiling water and being put into another one. And we're just gonna slowly keep turning up the heat. The United States does not give a shit about democracy or freeing the people of Venezuela. All the United States wants is oil. It's all the United States usually ever wants from any country. Because we're basically one giant oil corporation at this point. And now we just colonized you. I'm sorry. You are now under control of a fascist dictator going through the late stages of dementia. Welcome to the party.
Yeah, so this is important. It's something we all need to recognize and just understand. Liberals, they hate seeing people be liberated from socialism. That's just a reality. Now, if we just deal with the merits, the actual facts, Donald Trump lost an election he believed at the time was stolen. And we're now having more information come out recently that's pretty much proven that there was some foul play. Then later on, he was reelected and returned to office. Whatever you think about him politically, that sequence of events looks nothing like a dictatorship, like the ones Venezuelans were forced to live under. But it's very easy for liberals, as you just heard, to sit back from the comfort of their homes, enjoying free speech, jumping on social media, criticizing everything while sipping, Starbucks lattes and texting on their phones. It's easy to cry oppression in air-conditioned homes, where you're free to say whatever you want without fear of punishment or retaliation from your government. That's a luxury that didn't exist for the Venezuelan people. Now, that doesn't mean that the work is necessarily done. And even the president made that clear. There's still more to do. Take a listen.
We're going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela, and that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country.
Other than the following points, Nicolas Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognized him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we saved $50 million. And
we should make sure.
Yeah, exactly. But
don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very generous offers and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy Like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this, we're going to take... This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States.
Yeah, and so now Democrats, this is what they do. They're looking for any single phrase the president says that they can latch on to and oppose without actually listening to the full context. And so when the president says, we're going to run the country, that's all they need to hear. They grab that line and run with it. They conveniently ignore the part where he clearly explained why, to ensure a safe, proper, and lawful transition. That part suddenly becomes irrelevant to them. And so now we got Walmart, Dollar Tree Obama himself, Hakeem Jeffries, making statements like this. Take a listen.
They have to start with the capture and indictment of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. You have called him a, quote, criminal and authoritarian dictator who has oppressed the people of Venezuela for years. Is Venezuela better off without Nicolas Maduro in power?
Well, he's a bad guy, of course, and he's going to stand trial in an American court of law at this particular point in time. It remains to be seen whether the people of Venezuela are going to be better off. Donald Trump claims that he's going to run Venezuela. He's done a terrible job running the United States of America. Life hasn't gotten better for the American people over the last year. Life has gotten worse. He promised to lower the high cost of living. Costs haven't gone down. They've gone up. The healthcare system is broken. Donald Trump refuses to do anything about it to address the Republican healthcare crisis. So the notion that he's going to run Venezuela and make life better for the Venezuelan people, of course, is belied by the facts as to what he's done as president here in the United States of America.
I mean, well, let's think about it. Gas prices are hitting lows that we haven't seen in years. The border is more secure. The administration launched a full-scale deportation effort to remove illegal migrants who were allowed in under Biden. Trump signed executive orders to unleash American energy, and he moved to cut off the flow of drugs tied to Venezuela, poison that been killing Americans at a staggering rate. Not to mention the big, beautiful bill, the tax cuts. It's 2026 now, so we will see tax season exactly what that looks like for many people as they go to file their taxes and the anticipation of the larger than usual tax returns because of the big, beautiful bill. Meanwhile, Democrats act like none of this is happening. They pretend results don't count if Trump is the one delivering them. But let me know what you think. Drop your comments down below. As always, smash that thumbs up. Let me know you love the video. Subscribe to the channel for more. And share this video. That way more people see what's going on. Until next time.